Hello and welcome back to Make Your Mind. This is going to be a video, this is going to be a tutorial, more of a how-to of sorts. We're going to use our handy dandy orange single color clay. And the sculpt we're going to be making today is a bass guitar. I've already made a couple of videos with some bass sculptures that I've done. If you want to see those, I'll go ahead and leave a link for those down in the description below. And with that, you're going to start off with these three. You're going to start off with three, well, just like this, and let's begin. Put those two to the side. Now this is going to be the start of our body. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll. Now I'll do it slow, so you're going to roll it in your palms just like this to start to make it longer. What we're going to do is we're going to take off a little bit of excess. We don't need it. Put that down, and we'll work with this piece right here. So we'll lay it flat down on our piece. We're going to take our palm and we're going to roll it both to the front and to the back in order to make this piece nice and flat. So that's how we're going to start it. Now we're going to take our two fingers and pinch to make two flat surfaces and do the same with the other side. Put it down, flatten it again. This is just to refine the shape. You want to try to make it look almost like a rectangle in a way. And there we go. That is the start of our bass guitar body. Now, we're going to take this piece that we broke off earlier and we're going to break off 4 sections. 1, 2, 3. We're going to make that one a little smaller. And 4. We'll take our excess, put it over here to the side. Now each one of these sections is going to start to make the shape, the profile, the curve of the body. So let's go ahead and start with the back of the body using these two pieces right here. So we're going to take our piece here, we're going to roll the end in our fingers so that it looks just like this. We're going to flatten it, pinching it with our fingers. So it looks like this. Curling it just like that. And we're going to take our main piece and add to it. Curling it to the top like so. Then curling that piece in. And then to get rid of that line, you're going to take your thumb and you're going to roll the clay in. And then press down to flatten the piece out. And that's the shape we're going to start with. Blend that in a little bit. Now we're going to make the top section of the back of the body. We're going to take this piece right here and do the same thing. We're going to roll it so it looks like this, and then we're going to flatten it only a little bit. Don't need to make it totally flat, but give yourself enough to work with. And then do the same thing. Take your piece, roll it into the back, and then simply curl it around, and then roll your thumb to reveal it. And then simply refine the shape from there. And there we go. Go ahead and blend that in a little bit. Now the next part we're going to be doing is going to be the front section of the body, which concludes the guitar's horns. Now on a bass guitar, the top horn is always much longer than the bottom one. A lot of times the bottom of it has a deep cutaway. So what we're going to do, and actually as a food for thought, the top horn on a bass guitar is usually all the way up to the 12th fret. It's actually a marker for most bass players. A lot of people don't know that. So we're going to take our top piece here, roll it in the same way. Now with this, we'll go ahead and put our body down. We're going to take this, those to the side, and we're going to roll it on our flat, clean surface. Make sure to get it nice and long, like so. And you see, as I'm rolling it, I'm moving my hands back and forth. You can also spread with your fingers to make it even longer. There we go. Now we're going to take our piece. We're going to blend it in right here. Roll that in. So now it looks kind of like this. And then what we'll do is we'll blend the piece in with our thumb, rolling it in like so. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually rolling the back, so that way the back and the front look about the same. And always refine your profile. That is what we have so far. Now, to finish off the top horn, we're actually going to take this bigger section right here. We're going to bend this up and we're going to pinch and pull the clay outwards like so. Pinch it up, and then we're going to meet it with the horn on the top. And then blend it in using our thumb. See that? Now that's starting to look like something. Alright, now we're also going to do the same thing with the back. We're going to go ahead and blend it in, like so. Now with this little bit of excess here, we're actually going to pinch it and roll it back to make that guitar horn look a little bit thicker. Alright, let's go ahead and refine that shape. Now, if you need to add a little more, you can always pinch and pull the clay in whichever direction you'd like it to go. Now it's starting to look like something. Okay, we're going to take this little piece right here that we saved, and that's going to be the bottom horn. And we're going to do the same thing with this. We're going to take our piece and roll it. Spread it out so it's nice and thin, like so. Then we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to add it to the bottom of the body. Simply roll and use our thumb, and both are, you can either use your pointer finger or your middle. I switch between the two to blend that piece in so that you can get that definite profile. And the same thing we did with the top horn, we're going to do with the bottom. Now the bottom horn is going to have a fairly steep cutaway, and that's so on a real bass guitar that your fingers can actually reach the top frets. Sometimes on guitars the frets come way back on the body. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take a little bit of excess right here. We're going to pull it with our thumb. Flat pull with our thumb like so. See that? And then we're going to add this to the bottom. Roll it back. And then from there, we're just going to use our thumb and blend it in. Find the shape from there. Look at that. Now that, there's no mistaking what that is. That is a guitar body. Not to give it a little, make it look more like a bass, there's a little bit too much right here, so we're actually going to pinch and pull off a little bit on that bottom horn, and then cut that in a little bit deeper. Refine our shape from there. And there we go. There is our guitar body. That's pretty awesome. All right, now we're going to take this piece right here. Here's our excess. We're going to leave that to the side. This is going to be the neck of the guitar. So what we're going to do is we're going to place the body to the side right here. Then we're going to take this and we're going to roll it and stretch as we go. So as we're rolling, we're pushing down. You can also use your fingers. Spreading your fingers out helps to elongate whatever you're trying to roll flat. See that? And then you move your palm back and forth as you go. And as you're rolling, you're going to put steady pressure on one side or the other side. See, and I'm incorporating all of those techniques at once. And there we go. So there's the beginning of our guitar neck. As you can see, it's going to look similar to that. Now we're getting somewhere, but we're not quite done yet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pick a side on this, and we're going to make that the top of the neck where the fretboard on a regular guitar would go. And that's where your left hand or your right hand, depending on how your play style is, that's actually where you put your fingers on the strings in order to play the specific notes on the fretboard. So what we're going to do is we're going to take whichever side we pick, and we're going to place that flat on our flat surface, and we're going to take our pinch fingers right here, and we're going to simply push down and go up and down our guitar neck. So we'll put that up like so, and we'll take it off. Be very gentle with it. And then look, you see how it makes that flat edge? That's beginning to look like something here. Now this is fairly long, so what we're going to do, we're going to say this is the bottom of the neck, and then this will be the top. Now on the top of the neck is usually a headstock. So we're going to make this up here into our headstock. So what we're going to do is we're going to pinch flat like so. Then we're going to roll it in and flatten it again, so it looks like this. And you can make the headstock look any way you like. This is your sculpture. For me, I'm just going to make a very simple, sort of long guitar head. So I'm going to flatten the piece and sort of pull the piece with my fingers, like so. You see how I'm using my fingers here to create that curve and curve down profile? There is the makings of our neck and our headstock. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the body. Now with this sculpt, I'm going to be using one tool, and that single tool is going to be this, a simple toothpick. What we're going to do is we're going to use this toothpick in order to dig out the inside of the body right here, and try to get out some of that excess so that the neck can sit inside the body and we can bring them both together. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our toothpick, we're going to put it about here on the body, we're going to push in with our thumb, and see how it makes that cut. Now we're going to do the same thing with the bottom, around the same distance, like so. Then we're going to do the same thing. Now in order to not make a line going across the bottom, we're going to angle it slightly like this, making sure that it's even, and then pushing in very gently like so. And then we'll be doing the same on the other side, and we're simply going to push and refine that cutaway. Now you see? Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the toothpick and we're going to dig out some of that excess. So once again, we're going to place our toothpick inside that cutaway at an angle, and we're going to pull some of that clay out. There we go, there's a big chunk we don't need. Another chunk. Now we're going to do the same thing with the other side, angled again like so. Sorry about that, I was about to play in a YouTube ad. Didn't want to hear that in the video. Here we go. We see enough ads already. So now with that excess, you see how it's kind of misshapen and uneven? We're going to take our fingers and we're simply going to pinch and sort of refine that shape inwards. Try to take that excess and roll it into the center and flatten it out. See that? Now that is a little more even. And that's our cutaway so that we can put in our neck. Now we can take the excess and we can use that for the next part of the guitar. Now that we have the neck and the body, we're going to start with the details. Let's grab some of our excess right here. And we're going to make some of the features that go on a typical bass guitar. The first one we're going to start off with is what usually goes right back here, which holds the strings from the headstock all the way to the back. We're going to make the bridge of the guitar. So the bridge on a guitar, especially on a bass, sits much further back to give you a wide playing area. So we're going to take a little ball about this big, and we're going to roll it and elongate it like so, and then we're going to use our pinch fingers to simply push in until our fingers touch. And do the same thing with the other side, and then we're going to flatten. And the shape that we're trying to make here is a simple flat square like this. Like so. And now, that's going to be the start of our bridge. We're going to line it up so that it looks lined up with the neck. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right. Now we're going to keep adding details to this body. We're going to take our little bit of extra here. We're going to roll and make 3 tiny little balls about this big. We're going to make 3 of those. And these are going to be the knobs that go on this part of the bottom of the guitar body. There's always one usually close to the bridge. That's usually the volume knob. So we're going to put that one right about here. So you're going to push it onto the body and then use the top of your thumb to flatten it. See that? Now that looks a little bit like a knob, and we're going to do the same thing with the other ones. We're going to push, then flatten, then push, and then flatten. And there we go. Now we have volume, tone, and I guess you could call this like either a pickup selector or like an EQ, depending on what type of bass this is. But this is not based on any real model. This is just more of my own design. So let's get it to what I just talked about before. Let's make the pickups. Now with our excess here, the pickups that we're going to make, we're actually going to be making a PJ style pickup arrangement. Just to show you some differences. We're going to make we're going to pinch off a little bit of clay like this. Roll it in our hands, and do the same thing we did with the bridge. We're going to square that up. Make sure we make it nice and long. Now the pickups on a guitar are usually a little bit longer than the bridge and the neck. So that pickup is going to go right there. Alright, we got one pickup down. Now let's get the second pickup in there. The second pickup is going to be a P bass style pickup. And a P bass is also known as a split coil pickup, so we're going to take our clay here and make 2 balls about this big, and then we're going to do the same thing we did with the J bass style pickup. And we're going to roll it out long, and then we're going to square and flat, square and flat. Make a tiny little piece like that. Now these pieces are very small. I mean, look at the size of it compared to my hand. That's very small. If you can't do this right off the bat, I don't blame you. But you can try your own style. This is just my idea. What I do now, a split coil pickup is 2 smaller pickups that are slightly split and off angle. So we're going to go ahead and place pickup right there. Alright, now the second part of the pickup is going to go slightly offset of the first one, with it being a split coil. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the exact same thing. Then place the bottom half of the pickup. Sorry, a little bit of one of my hairs got on there. And there we go. There is our PJ style pickup arrangement. That's pretty awesome. Now that, find that right there. That looks like a bass. A big bass. Alright, now we're going to take our neck and we're going to start the details on that. We're going to do the tuners up here. Now these tuning pieces are going to be fairly small. So what we're going to do, we're going to give ourselves a little bit more space to work with. We're going to make the guitar head a little bit bigger. There we go. That gives us a little bit more room to work with. Alright, now we're going to take some of our excess that we have here and here, and we're going to make 4. Let's go ahead and put the body right here. We're going to make 4 very small balls like this. It'll be very small. We're going to make 4 of those. So we're going to take a piece, break it off, roll it, place it down, roll it and place it down. Now for the tuning knobs themselves, we're going to take a piece, roll it thin, place it down, and we're going to repeat that 4 times. And there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the little round balls that we made, and we're going to place them on the neck on either side. So I'm going to put one there, one right there, one here. These are a little bit big. Let me go ahead and make these just a tiny bit smaller. And also, when you're refining your shape, you want to try to make it to scale as best you can, but if you can't do it the first time, that's totally fine. These are just some simple techniques on how to make a bass guitar. Here, we'll offset them a little bit. And there we go. Now we're going to take these pieces here and we're going to make the tuning knobs. Now the tuning knobs on a bass are fairly beefy, so we're going to elongate them. We're going to go ahead and pinch and roll, and then you can take your thumb and press in like so until you make a shape that looks exactly like that. See that? That's pretty close. What we're going to do is we're going to place one of those on the very back of the body, but also lined up with the tuner that it's associated with. Just like that, you see? Alright, now we're going to do the same thing and repeat that 4 times. Sorry about that, look at that. That was one of my eyelashes that just fell off. I just noticed that. Alright, and here we go. We're going to do the last one. Alright, now the last thing we got to do is mate the neck to the body. So let's go ahead and line that up. Press that in right here. There you have it. There is a simple single color bass guitar sculpture. As you can see, we got all the prominent features. We have the head and the body. We got the 2 horns with the deep horn up here and the deep cutaway here. We got some tuning knobs, a bridge. We got the pickups. And then we also have the headstock with the tuners. Now that's just a simple single color sculpt. But if you want to get detailed in the future, you can use different colors and different ideas and use some pictures for inspiration. Here's a quick little inspiration for you. This is a sculpture I made earlier today. This is a Victor Wooten Fodera yin-yang base that I made. As you can see, I got the yin and yang, just like that. I took a couple of colors and swirled them together to give it this look. Tried to make it look like spalted maple, but it's very tough to try to get that to look in clay. That's the closest I could get. I used a mix of black, brown, yellow, white, and orange. And then this is some brown mixed with a little bit of black. I got the bridge here, the two dots for the yin and the yang. And I got the stock up here with the twin colors, yin and yang, the Fodera stamp, and the tuners up there with the nut. And the neck, as you can see, the neck is a slightly different color. Sorry, it's coming off. There we go. And then I put some orange on the back here, which is the same color as this, just to give it some contrast. But you could make something like this in the future. But for now, let's stick with our single color, shall we? That looks pretty awesome. Alright, if you've watched this video up to this point, I sincerely appreciate you, and please try this at home. Go to your local Walmart, go to your local Target, go get yourself some modeling clay, and use those simple techniques, the pinch, the roll, and blending. Use those simple techniques, and you can make something as cool as this. Please try it at home. If you enjoy content like this, go ahead and leave a like down below, and make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so that way you never miss the new video. And with that, thank you very much for watching. Give thanks and enjoy yourselves. Thank you.